Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special Outlaws of Thunder Junction draft here on the channel. Today, we are joined by a very accomplished player. He is the Outlaws of Thunder Junction Pro Tour Semifinalist. He's also the Kaldheim Champion. He's won a Grand Prix. He has been in the highest levels of Magic the Gathering. He's on one of the best testing teams, and you probably know him from his YouTube channel as well. It is Arne Huschenbeth. Arne Huschenbeth, welcome to the channel. It's an honor to have you.
Yeah, that name is a struggle for everybody, literally.
I was so confident. I was so arrogant. I was like, I'm going to nail this first try. But yeah, it's so nice to have you on the channel. It's great to get to hear your perspective on the format and all of that. So I guess the first thing I want to ask you about is what are your thoughts on this format, and how did it feel drafting and going undefeated drafting at the Pro Tour?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you very much for having me. Great to be here. Yeah, just an unreal experience, honestly. Like the 6-0 dream at the Pro Tour. That's the first time I ever accomplished that, and I'm one of those people who really went into competitive Magic as a constructed lover. And the first Pro Tours I went to, the first draft 0-3, second Pro Tour 2-4, then 1-5. I was always just doing absolutely terrible draft. Pretty good and constructed, but that doesn't. You need to be both good at limited and constructed to make a top 8, of course. And so, a turnaround for me over the years, getting better and better at limited. And it's just an amazing feeling. The first deck was really, really good. I had a blue-green deck with 2 mythics, Oko, the ringleader, and Vault-Born Tyrant. And the second deck, I started green-white, had like 3 green, 2 white cards as my first 5 picks. And then I ended up in a blue-black deck, scraping for playables. Just 6 people at the table were in green, also 3 Hall of Famers. 3 of those. Anyway, part 2 was pretty stacked, pretty loaded. And I just somehow scraped 3 victories with that draft. I was very lucky. I was very fortunate. My Siphon Insight hit multiple mythics, which to make a Pro Tour top 8, you have to be lucky in the end.
Yeah. So when you drafted, it sounds like you played a couple of blue decks, that there were a lot of green drafters at your table, and you kind of got pushed out of it. Is there any colors that you lean towards in this format, or strategies that you like?
So, well, as most people and as everybody knows, green is the best color. We of course had green as very high in the team. We had green-white sort of as the best archetype, because even if you have a bunch of commons, maybe some uncommon payoffs in green-white, you can just have a really good deck in draft. But yeah, it's always interesting, because then there's this metagame situation sometimes where at high-level events where everybody is going for their best color, or if they have a tight decision, they're probably leaning towards the green card instead of whatever other color of card that is maybe close in power level. So yeah, maybe we should have metagamed a little bit more. If I would have been blue-black from the get-go, my deck would have been much better, for example. But it's always difficult during a draft. I think I personally started really liking sort of the Grixis crime controlling archetypes when they were open. Of course, when people fight for them, they're usually bad. But just turns out that in a lot of the drafts, sort of this Grixis, blue-red, just these colors, especially blue-black is my favorite of the bunch. We're sometimes open, so you could go for them. So yeah.
I think the slow and steady decks are pretty satisfying, because there's some really good card advantage in this format where you can just draw a bunch of cards and just outvalue people in these kind of late game stalls. The only problem is then if they just drop a card that's like almost unbeatable and you don't have an answer. But a lot of the removal in this set is good as well, I found. But you mentioned that you were preparing with a team. So you were on Team Channel Fireball Ultimate Guard, and this was, I think, your first tournament with them as teammates. What was that experience like, testing with some really, really well-known and renowned players?
Well, it actually was I think my 4th event with them. But I recently joined the sort of this Team CFB Ultimate Guard sponsored team. So that was very exciting for me. That happened right before the Pro Tour, and that is very exciting. And yeah, so I was working with them for quite a bit, and I think that's also a reason why my limited record just has gotten so much better recently. Just since I've been with them, my limited record has been great at the Pro Tour. I have almost a 70% win rate in the last 4 events, which is just astonishing.
That's excellent.
Yeah, especially from where I come from, right? And
yeah.
So no, of course, Sam Party, Louis Scott Vargas. I mean, we had user this time around on the team. Just
nice.
Incredible limited minds that really quickly grasp what is good and where you want to go. It was very, very helpful to be with them.
Excellent. And as I'm going to join the queue for us, but just before we get our first pack sent to us, is there like a tip you think that viewers would be able to, like you say you got much better by being like on their team? Is there any tips that you think like would really help a viewer that's trying to get better at limited that maybe you've picked up since starting to play with them?
Oh, that's a really good question.
It could just be
I
that
couldn't really
small
pin it
edges.
Down to you, right?
Yeah, it could be a small
right,
edges
like just
thing.
The incremental.
Yeah, because I imagine when you're obviously you're a good player, so like if you were to sit down at an FNM pod, even if you're 0-3 Pro Tour drafts, you're probably still gonna like win your FNM. But like I imagine there's just like a bunch of small things you get through osmosis, being with such good players all the time.
Yeah, and you also, I guess, you get a very nice manual in a way, right? Like I'm a good technical player already, but to fully understand a draft format, you need to know what is good, what how to evaluate the cards, and what archetypes are the best to go for, and so on, right? And that's definitely delivered with the CFB limited meeting and all around that.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's kind of like making limited more of a constructed vibe where it's like, okay, it's not so unknown. We kind of know what's good, what we can play around and stuff.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right, let's
do
our
this. First pack.
What do we got?
What are we gonna get? Exactly. Man, it's funny. For some reason, I often start from the bottom and like see which common I would take, but I know that looking at the rares is often an important step. So first blush at this pack. What are you looking at?
Wow, this pack is amazing. First cards, Kervek, Shepherd, but I mean, we got Clear Shot and Burrow Fiend, 2 of the best green uncommons in the set. Shepherd is maybe my favorite uncommon in the set. I think this card is just completely insane for what it does. It's like a Sarah Angel that returns a creature.
The first time I played this card, I was like, wait, I get to put it back into play? This doesn't feel right, but excellent option. So there's Shepherd of the Clouds as a card. There's Clear Shot and Burrow Fiend as well. Karavak has been okay, but not like insane for me. What do you want to take here?
Oh man, this is. I'm leaning towards a Shepherd, but I honestly this is a really tough pick. Like you could go. I think you could go with Clear Shot. You could go with Burrow Fiend. You could go with Karavak, even if you want to build a deck around that.
Yeah, one thing I like to say, just to put all guests at ease, is I give the guest all of the credit if we win, and I take all of the blame myself for piloting errors if we lose. So you get all the credit either way. So there's no downside. We can take whatever we want, and you'll come out looking great.
Okay. Sounds good for me, I suppose.
Yeah, we've started with Shepherd in the Clouds. The next pack has only a couple of white cards, which I don't think we want to be second picking. But there is Consuming Ashes, Lockpicker, Repulse. What do you like here?
Yeah, so I really am not a big fan of blue-white. It's one of the color combinations I try to avoid. So I would... I love Repulse, I love the Lockpicker, but I think I would just go with Consuming Ashes here. I'm pretty happy being in black-white. Consuming Ashes is one of the best cards in the pack, together with those blue ones. So I think happy to just pick that up.
Is it worrying for you, pack 2, not seeing any good white cards yet? Or is that just like, okay, they took the rare out of this pack, not a huge signal yet?
Yeah, pretty much what you said second there. You can't really take that signal too seriously. You should, of course... It's starting with pack 3. I would maybe take note of color missing in the packs. Here we don't have a blue card.
No blue cards. The only white card is a big horn. So maybe dodge a bullet, not going that direction. What do you like in this pack?
So I think the best card in the pack is the Stable Master. But I think Vault Plunderer is fantastic with Shepherd of the Clouds. We already have a great black card. So Vault Plunderer is like one of the bread and butter, one of the gluing pieces, you could say, for the black and white grindy mid-range deck. So I just pick that up here and be pretty happy about it. Sorry.
Oh yeah, so you said that black-white like kind of a grindy mid-range deck, blue-white kind of a deck that you avoid drafting. Do you kind of like have like the archetypes in your mind like as like set things? So like black-white is going to be like before you even draft the colors, you kind of have a good idea of what sort of deck you're trying to build if you do end up in those colors.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, some color combinations maybe have the sub archetypes where, you know, I don't know, like a little bit more aggressive or grindy. But I think black white only had like this mid-range pile removal and card advantage and some recursion effects. So yeah.
This pack, there's Take Up the Shield, which is good in some white decks. Only black card is a Gigapede. There's a Naturalist, blue-white card. I mean, kind of a medium pack, maybe.
Yeah, I think I would just lean to it. I like the Keykeeper. It's a bread and butter 2-drop. I think it's pretty decent in black-white because you can use Ariad's Lullaby effectively with it to tap an opposing creature.
Right. Yeah. At this point, there's another pack that doesn't have a white card in it. So by pick 5, maybe that's a little bit of a signal post. And then I love Nimble Brigand. I don't know why, but every time I play this card, I'm so happy. And then there's a couple black cards again. What sort of thoughts do you have on this pack?
Yeah, I think for me, it's time to deviate into a third color. It's either the Giant Beaver. We've been getting green over the last few picks. We could have gone Stable Master into 2/3, or the Brigand. I mean, I'm a big fan of black blue. But I don't know, like. Yeah, it's a close one. What do you? Yeah, let's go.
I'm down to take the Brigand. One of the things that I have, as just like a drafting philosophy, is in this set because green is so good. Like you said, 6 people at the Pro Tour drafted it, and so if you're getting into drafting a green deck for the Giant Beaver, there's definitely a guy like 2 seats down that is drafting green because he's got like an ornery Brushwag or something, so he's just never going to pass you any green cards, and so you kind of have to have like a justification that's like better than a Beaver to get into green, and at least that's kind of a perspective I've had. Okay, it looks like it's gonna work out. Enough. There's some good blue cards in this pack, and not a lot. I mean, this is a solid green card. And once again, no white cards.
Yeah.
Do you like Interference or this town?
I think it's pretty close, but going with the cheaper card is pretty reasonable between the two.
Okie doke. Pick 7 here. We haven't seen too many white cards, but there's one in this pack, the Griffin, and then another Derailment. Ankle Biter.
Bit of a tough draft. Yeah, I mean, red double Derailment very late in the pack, which is, in my opinion, the best red common. So
yeah, we could snap that up, get a little bit of
get frisky. Hope to open Cruel Ultimatum in the next pack.
Get our toes wet. We could also just take a Desert Land if we cared about the crimes for like a blue-black deck.
It's between those two, I agree, but yeah, it's oh wow, just no respect here.
Yeah, they don't respect the Brigand. Okay. Nice. This is reading signals is all about. Oh yeah, so there's that. There's Savage Smash. It's still in the pack. And then a bunch of nonsense. What are your thoughts on the Sterling Hound? This card overperforms, I feel like, when I play it.
Yeah, I like it too. Just be careful a little bit. I mean, the problem is the derailment. If you like, get into red decks, that can get pretty ugly. Yeah. But otherwise, I like it as well. Wow.
Just wield both blue cards. I love Bandit. I think Bandit's sweet.
Do you like it more than this Jailbreak scheme in blue black? Depends on your deck, I guess.
I've liked Bandit when I compare it with like. I mean, you get some really good uncommons in blue, like the 3/5 Sphinx or the 1/4 that makes a creature. So I'm down to take Bandit or the scheme. I don't really care.
Yeah, let's go with the Bandit. It's an uncommon. The scheme comes around maybe later.
Yeah. I feel like nobody ever takes schemes. We're just wheeling Repulse, no big deal. Just pick 10.
Insane. Okay, someone took the lock picker, so it's 2 blue drafters at the table, us and one other person.
Us and one person. We'll find that person. Maybe we'll push them out of it somehow. I mean, that was the laugh of somebody who's been preparing for the Pro Tour by drafting with really good players and is realizing what it's like drafting on Arena. It's like, wait. 10th pick Repulse? I don't understand. My Pro Tour deck would have been so busted if I got 10th pick Repulse. You started to draft like
on Arena. We used to draft So in Arena we used to draft like these 5-color decks pretty easily, and then we got to the in-house drafting, and nobody saw a desert after pick 4, because everybody was picking a desert super highly.
Yeah. That's what's problem.
I would take the Strix, I think.
Yeah,
I
that makes
played
sense.
that card in the past.
Yeah. Well, you played it in draft where you're really scrapping.
Yeah, I don't know. Right.
This is I kind of like C's a little bit better, but I don't really think it matters that much. But that's actually super interesting. Like the difference between playing at the highest level in pod, everyone's really good, knows how to evaluate cards, versus playing like on like typical draft experiences. You actually like what you were kind of saying about having a manual for drafting, that's like even more helpful somewhere here where it's like, oh, we both know that Repulse is really good, but they the people we're drafting with don't really know, and so we just get a huge advantage that way. And I think that's probably why Pro Tour drafts, I mean, going 6-0 is even more impressive in the context of everyone's scrapping for these good cards, so it makes it even harder to get like a huge advantage just in deck building.
Yeah.
This pack that we have seems really bad. I'm just looking at it.
I have to agree with that. I mean, the Legion is maybe a decent card in some decks. I never played with it, but it looks kind of good. But
yeah,
I probably would just stick to the blue here and take the counter spell. Not happy about it, but
yeah, not the best first pick in a world of really good cards, but that's how it goes sometimes. Yeah, double rares. That's kind of funny. Neither of them particularly great. Yeah. Okie doke. Now this pack only has Geyser Drake as a blue card. There's one black card. There's Riku. What are you thinking, like, going into pack 2? Do you think we have a direction for our draft, like a 2-color pair? Because in my mind, we're only really a blue deck, and then we can kind of go other directions from there.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that statement. I would like to be in blue-black. I think that's the best of the options we have right now.
Mm-hmm.
But we only have 2 cards committing to us. We could take the Wolverine and stay open for blue-red, I guess.
Yeah.
I really don't like any of the blue or black cards.
Yeah. Do you like Wolverine better than Gila Courser?
I think with the cards we already have, I mean, until your next turn, I mean, you could take the Courser. I'm not sure. Like, it's close, I guess. What do you think?
I think I've generally taken the Courser, but our deck doesn't really have cheap creatures that are good at crewing, and our 3-drops want to attack anyway, so, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's some great cards. There's a Hollow Marauder and a Marauding Sphinx.
Yeah, this is amazing. Marauding Sphinx, at the beginning, I was like, okay, this card's solid. Then I played with it. Okay, this card is good. Then I played more with it. Then I was like, okay, this card is just an insane bomb. Like, not an insane bomb. I'm exaggerating, but this card
it feels so broken. My opponents always, I don't know why, but every time they plot a Visage Bandit, they then immediately play a Marauding Sphinx and immediately get a second one. And I'm just like, well, this thing is just like, I'm never going to kill both of these things. Ward 2 is like such a irritating piece of text. It's so hard to get through. But this deck is looking, the blue's looking open from both directions, so that's pretty good. And now there's a Mourner Surprise, there's a removal spell, Spiral of Canal. If you're drafting in paper, you can get a value draft. But yeah, this pack, which one are you leaning towards here?
Well, in the world of scrapping for playables at the Pro Tours and so on, Stop Cold is actually a card I put twice into my Pro Tour decks that I free out with as well. So
nice.
I would just pick it up here. You know, it's not a great card, but I think it's just a playable, and I wouldn't. Yeah,
I agree.
You could pick a land, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, especially because we already we don't really know our playables as much. It's also removal just plays really well with the double brigands we have. Well, this card's quite good.
Yeah, it's a pretty good card. I would probably pick that up here.
Yeah, we could even splash it. We already kind of have, like, we could play Grixis Crimes type vibes.
Yeah.
Get that in
We can splash either black or red in the end. We're definitely blue. I like the Rope Master. I'm not a hater of that card. I usually like to play one of them, but it's another card you can pick up later usually.
We'll probably see this exact Rope Master at the end of the pack. If I was a betting man, I'd say we get this with 2 cards left in the pack. We'll just bank that prediction for later. Okay, and now there's a Geyser Drake, another Wolverine, Rooftop Assassin. So a few playables. Highway Robbery. This is one of those interesting cards that a lot of people I've heard talking about it like it more than like others. Like they say like, oh, I see this card so late, and they like it.
Yeah, I like it too. It's sort of It enabled some cards. It enabled some synergies in blue-red, and there's really not a lot of mana sinks in this format. So actually, getting to discard a land and drawing, I would take it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting to discard a land is pretty big in the later stage of the game.
Nice. We can get a desert for our splash. It fits either
Yep.
way, so that's nice.
That's perfect.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Sandstorm Verge? Because I've never not played it yet, but people say that they've had like some experiences with it, especially if they really need extra deserts when nobody's passing them at the Pro Tour past pick 4.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I would think that maybe it's like good in a green white or like a Boros aggressive deck, but I've never played with it either. So I'm as clueless as you are.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Skullduggery. Another. I don't think we need 2 card draw spells. Mine Raider.
Yeah, I think this is just the Skullduggery for me. I like that card in some decks.
Yeah,
I think
it's nice that we're kind of. I think we'll probably end up splashing red because we might want to play this double black card, but you never know. We're still pretty flexible. Here, there's a Deadeye Duelist, a Roadrunner wheeled somehow.
The Deadeye Duelist is pretty good with the Brigands.
You're right. That is a good synergy. Yeah, Roadrunner's just like a haster, but this one like enables our Brigands.
Yeah, like I think we're much happier having a 1/3 reach body than a 2/2 haste body in this type of like blue, more controlling removal deck.
Grixis deck, Boombox, Frostification. I mean, nothing we're really going to be playing here.
Yeah, I guess the Boombox. You could take the Lullaby if you open like a white super mythic. Could maybe be like an Esper deck. It's a very hedge like. Oh, talking about that. Okay, I guess we take it.
We're gonna open a white mythic. It's gonna happen. Oh my gosh.
It has to happen now. I mean, that card is not terrible, I guess. And an Outlaw Medic. Perfect for a blue-white control deck.
Our blue-white control deck is really coming together here at the end of pack 2. Oh my gosh. Double
there's the Boombox anyways.
Yeah, we did the Boombox anyway.
Oh, the Roadmaster has been picked up though.
It didn't wheel. Yeah, they didn't. They took it over. They put the boombox over it. Oh, this is a good feeling. The color we know we're playing. We get a Stoic Sphinx. I love that card. What else is there? Nothing much else in this pack. So this going into pack 3, I guess we could technically be kind of any color except green, but we're probably some sort of Grixis deck. I think these white cards, even though we got a few of them late at pack 2, we're probably still not loving our blue-white deck.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Although just looking at the white cards, they kind of look decent. So I wouldn't just. I would stay open to the idea. Let's say.
This is like. So would you like say that one of the things that pro drafters do more than average drafters is like stay open for longer? Like, do you think you stay open generally longer than you used to when you were less experienced?
I'm definitely the type of person who stays open longer, but I don't know if there's a point of where you should make a decision, and I think I go past that point sometimes. Like if there's a perfect for the perfect drafter. I would say definitely don't marry your first pick. That's certainly not what a pro does. But also, at some point, you should maybe not be in this position here. I don't know what we could have done differently, to be fair.
What do you want to take in this pack?
I would pick the Derailment, I think. Just like there's nothing really that I like besides that.
Yeah, I agree. We can still kind of go blue plus anything. Now there's Rope Master, Tether, Desert Stew, though we only have one desert for that, and then another Duelist. I guess Frontier Seeker if we wanted to go white. We kind of have a lot of options.
Interesting. I'm honestly out of answers. I don't know. I mean,
I'm out of answers. I'm down to take Desert Stew, I think. We have some black. I don't know. We could take a white card. I mean, Frontier Seeker. I mean, we could just get back into the white deck.
I would take the Tether over the Seeker, I think. We don't have mounts, right?
No, we don't.
Yeah, I think it would. Okay, well.
This is going to work out great. Arid Archway is a card we could take. It is such a weird draft. We at least have
good luck in the games.
Exactly. We're going to go undefeated. This is how it always goes. But we've got 10 or 12 good blue cards. Maybe we will play this Harrier Strix. That's the pro tech.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, oh gosh, I would probably take the lullaby. You would take the
yeah.
archway.
Oh, you're right.
You
There is
like
a
it?
little
I
white.
mean, that's
I forgot we were playing white now. I wasn't even looking at white cards. Yeah, this is great. Our deck is sick. Okay, perfect. Repulse, Lonely
Oh,
Arroyo.
wow.
Gosh.
Yeah,
I
I
like.
think Repulse is just too broken to not take it, right?
I
Like,
mean, yeah, we got one late, but last time, but I don't think we can count on that again. I think blue white is actually looking quite open for us, and the more instants, the better for our Wrangler of the Damned. Plays well with our
yeah,
Stoic Sphinx. I mean, our deck is actually really good as a blue white tap out kind of like late game control deck. I think we're actually like in really good shape on that
yeah,
front.
yeah. I think so too. Oh
Yeah.
wow, look at that. GG.
GG, we have double Sphinx. It's almost like we have like two rares. It's crazy. This draft is going so well now. Like if we just
Your
cut all of our
prophecy. Sorry, yeah.
yeah, my prophecy is coming true. Look at this. We've got so
Well,
many good cards.
your bandit prophecy, like going bandit into things, is definitely going to be a thing in this draft.
Yeah, or either of our Sphinxes. We now have 3 Sphinxes.
Oh wow,
This is Sphinx Tribal. Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, and we got this guy. Perfect. Our bandit pick is looking so good now. We're so smart. Genius. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Just stay
Outlaws.
open until pack free to decide colors. This is the takeaway to learning here. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. There is
so
no
wrong.
point. You never need to commit to colors. Everything works out. End of pack 2, you'll get this
the best
card.
card out of every pack.
And just hope for the best. Okay. I kind of want to take the bluffs to go with the Nimble Brigands.
I like that, yeah.
Nice. And yeah, we have
If
so
we got
many.
another duo, we could even think about splashing 2 derailments. This is not.
Oh, you're right.
the question.
Yeah, you're right. That is definitely something we could do. Another Phantom Interference. There's a Pixie.
Yep.
I think Interference is good though. I think our deck is like looking pretty good as like one of those like flash style decks. We have a lot of instants and things we can cast, and then our removal's cheap. We have good blockers early. This deck is looking great.
That's literally every blue-white deck I've ever drafted, sort of, and then you get to play the games and you're like, what is this?
Yeah, you get to play the games, you're like, this is a disaster, what's gone wrong? Oh man.
I like the
And
1-4 a little bit better. It blocks pretty well, to be honest.
Yeah. Excellent.
I've been a fan of that. Like I've played that card. Oh, another playable. Look at that.
Another playable. The Rope Master. We're crushing it now. I've never played Slickshot Vault Buster, and I've literally never seen it in play. This is probably one of those like, oh, on Arena you never have to play this card, but it's like actually much better than it looks.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. No, I mean there's like against the aggro decks, it blocks the airings, which is good.
Second to last pick rare, also a real playable card.
I'll take the CC. Yeah, we might play that actually.
Yeah.
Oh,
last pick
Jin as well.
Yeah, I actually played a deck that played Step Between Worlds because it had the mythic rare Geralf or something, like the 2/3 that can like storm combo essentially, and so I just built a storm combo deck that had both those cards in it. It was very satisfying. But here,
wait, what in this format?
In this format, it was sick. I cast like 10 spells in a turn one time or something, because I would like set up all my plot cards and then I'd play Geralf, wheel my entire hand away. It was awesome.
Whoa, that sounds pretty freaking awesome. Yeah, wow, I haven't heard. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, I think Geralf is just my favorite card to draft in this set because you just play him with plot cards and then you feel smart, even though they clearly seeded it that way to be good. Okay. Here we've got a couple of cuts to make. We probably don't need to play this Strix, but we can. Oh, it's good with the Lullaby too. And also good with the Brigands. What do you like cutting here?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think maybe the Rope Master is.
Yeah.
Because we have like a bunch of 5s.
Yeah.
The Shepherd actually looks like a 4/3 Vigilance creature in this deck mostly, but it's fine. That's still.
I mean, it can still buy back creatures. It can get back a Visage Bandit, and then Visage Bandit can copy it and get back something else. No, it can't. Never mind. Visage Bandit's a 4-drop.
Are you sure?
No, yeah. I felt so smart. I put this into the 3-drop slot because of its plot cost, and then yeah, that doesn't work. We have so few creatures that can actually get back. We got 4 creatures, 5. Oh, that's why we have to play the Strix. Another target.
Yeah, right. The Strix
there. We have one more cut to make.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the Seize the Secrets with Lullaby, but maybe it's just the worst card. Or you pick one of the higher expensive cards, maybe the Jin.
Yeah, I'm down to
Although,
cut Jin.
yeah, I think it's Jin or Seize. Yeah, Jin
Yeah.
is
How many creatures do we have? 12 creatures. We have a decent
maybe
amount of
just take
card
the
draw.
Seize. I know you
Yeah.
want to cut it, like you just.
We have a decent amount of
um,
card draw as well because we have 2 repulses. We have this
yeah,
1 C's already. We have like these cards are kind of late game. We have this thing as a mana filtering. Yeah,
we
this
have
deck looks.
Brigand. Yeah.
Yeah, this deck looks great. We got a Stoic Sphinx, so we have like a bomb rare that's like really hard to deal with. Yeah, and apparently, if you're in the Pro Tour and you put Stop Cold in your deck, you can't lose. So that's another huge asset to our deck. And we got this one like in the middle of a pack. Like, how could they pass this to us? It's crazy.
Just be
Yeah.
careful to not lullaby the creature that has Stop Cold on it.
Oh yeah, we gotta make sure we don't do that too wrong. But this deck looks really fun. And I just want to say thank you so much to Arne for coming on. You can find his content on YouTube at Arne Huschenbeth MTG. It's going to be linked in the description. You can find his Twitch stream, his Twitter, so you can cheer him on, root for him in future events that he is playing in. He's going to be playing in Pro Tours for the next couple at least, so it'll be great to watch him and root for him in those. Do you have any parting words, Arne?
Well, you nailed it with the name this time, so good on you.
I know. I've gotten so much better. We're best friends. It's all good. Oh my gosh.
No, you did, and yeah, this was really fun. I laughed a bunch, a big smile on my face right now, and yeah, thank you for having me.
Excellent. I will see all of you folks in the games, but for now we're going to say goodbye to Arne and get to some matches. Before I get to the games, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the patrons who support the NicolaiBolas channel at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. It is thanks to Patreon support that I'm able to make as many videos as I do, and I really do appreciate everybody who contributes towards the success of the channel. If you're enjoying my videos and would like to support my content directly, Patreon is the best way to do so, and you gain access to some cool perks along the way, such as access to my card-by-card tier list for each set and other cool benefits. Special shout out to those patrons who support my channel at the credits level. I really do appreciate it, but without further ado, let's get to the games. Welcome to round 1. And before I decide to keep this hand, which I'm very obviously keeping, I do want to say that if you haven't checked out Arne's content, or if you haven't been rooting for him at big tournaments, then you really should, because he's such a nice guy, as you can already hopefully tell from that. So much fun having him on as a guest. I laughed a lot. Great joking around. He's been a guest on some other channels as well, so if you just like search his name into YouTube, you'll find a lot of the stuff he's done. And he's also just like one of the best players around. Like, it is not easy to top 8 a Pro Tour level event or win a big event, and he's won big events. He's been a great player, and it's awesome. Okay, well, I'm definitely countering this. I already have a turn 3 play lined up, and so I'm just going to counter this. It looks like they might need a land drop. If they play a land now, they'll feel kind of silly. Okay, so yeah, they're missing land drops. We play our Nimble Brigand, and then we can repulse something. This will be unblockable. We'll hit them, draw another card, really to make sure we hit our land drops. Voracious Environment. Sure. No matter what they do, I'm almost certainly going to bounce this with repulse. It's just so easy to win when they are missing lands. We have 1 tap land in the deck. So I think if we're going to repulse, we can repulse now. I know this is technically value to get rid of that, but I think we can afford taking 3 per turn. Okay, so they don't have Snakeskin Veil. Well, their thing has Vigilance, so. And if... Okay, perfect. And we're going to have a 3/5 blocker soon that like doesn't really care about this as much. And then we're going to copy it. If I'd known I had this, I might have just counted on killing their Bristle Bandit, but this is fine, too. Especially when their mana is choked. Just getting a Marauding Sphinx down is so powerful. And we can just throw a double block on this. I don't think there's much they can do. So they can't really attack us with this unless they want to trade for a Nimble Brigand, which they probably don't want to do. But yeah, now I really want to win. I'm like, okay. Every time I have a guest on, I always tell them it's like they help me draft the cool deck, and then I sometimes am not as focused when I'm recording, so I'll like mess something up and we'll lose because of that. But I think it's great to have just the guest be the star of the show, as they say, and be able to just like not have to worry about how the games go. Okay, so we're just gonna kill their land, draw another card, get a crime trigger. This is beautiful. But okay, we don't want 2 lands here. We probably don't want any lands there. Okay. I could have played Visage Bandit first if I really wanted an extra Surveil, but this way we get an extra card draw to make our decision. Okay, that's going to be good. So they can sacrifice it, so it won't do anything. We're just going to play this guy. Remember, folks, you do not have to plot. You can just play your really good cards. And they scoop it up. As predicted, I did say that this guy has a frightful tendency to copy a Sphinx. And as I already said, the Visage Bandit copying Sphinx is a classic line. An opponent obviously knew it's the best thing you can do in this format and conceded. So 1 point for the good guys. Welcome to round 2. I see a Brigand, I see a Repulse. It's basically the same hand. Let's go. Opponent is even mulliganing, so that should help us out. I do, of course, wish we had a 2-drop, but we have so many that we can draw, so that's always good. And maybe a slower matchup, so just a good matchup for the Nimble Brigands, potentially. So Desert Synergies, maybe some Desert Stews, or they're splashing. Okay. Yeah, it's always rough when you're on the draw and you don't have a play on turn 2. But looks like they don't have a great follow-up either. Okay, they didn't even cast anything. They clearly suspected us of having something. I would expect they're probably a green-black base deck and splashing blue. Oh, okay, this is going great for us then. I think the highest upside play is to get this thing down. Because they don't have much going on right now, and this just puts so much pressure on them. Sure. So they get a lot of card draw. So they're splashing black, it looks like. And we're not going to get to counter whatever they play using Phantom Interference or whatever. But, okay, so they have like a removal spell. I'm just going to... So I can always draw a card here. If they go for Throw from the Saddle, I can repulse their guy in response. I'm just going to assume they don't have Snakeskin Veil. If they have Snakeskin Veil, they have Snakeskin Veil. But sometimes you have to go for the high impact play. Sure. We have so many extra cards flooding in. That's a good synergy. Lots of surveilling going on. They have a lot of cards in their hand now, so I'm going to try to catch back up with my Brigands, giving me extra cards. Yep. Okay. So if I draw an island in my top 2 cards, I can then play Stitcher and make a 4/4. Yeah, this would be good. And I can always just activate this guy. No? Yes. I think I'm ahead enough that I can just afford to hold up my Phantom Interference now. Because I can just make a 2/2. I can tap something and counter a big spell they might have. I think making a 4/4 doesn't really do as much here. I read an article recently by Reed Duke, another great player who I think is on Arne's team, so he's relevant here as well. And it was about one of the things you need to do to level up sometimes is not always make the conservative afraid play. Like this play relied on me drawing an island, but I have like 7 islands, so if it works out, it goes really well for me. And the downside is me like using Keykeeper versus like making a couple of creatures. But being willing to make the aggressive play is totally fine. Yeah, no blocks. I'll make him tap out. Perfect. I still get a 2/2 out of the deal. And I have Ariet's Lullaby, which would be a great draw. They have 4, 6, 10. Harrier Strix is probably going to be a chump blocker here. Buy me 5 life. I can then get it back with Shepherd. We've both drawn a lot of cards this game. I could have thrown an extra blocker on here, but then if they kill this guy, or kill this guy, it's... like if they clear shot or something, it just goes really badly for me. Like double blocks are a risk, and so going for double block when you can go for a single block. Sure. Sure. That'll be good. We've drawn so many extra cards. Keep in mind, they might have less cards in the deck, but a lot of that is from, or at least a little bit of it's from surveilling cards away. I think I can handle the ground. Like this thing into this thing next turn is going to be pretty big for me. Oh. Sure. Sure. So now I can really put the pressure on them because they don't have any flying threats, really. See what we find here. Land. Play this guy out. Sure. Stop him from getting a big 4/4 seems fine to me. I have plenty of chump blockers. And I have several creatures that can be lethal. Okay. That won't save them. That, in fact, makes me very happy. They didn't have a flyer. Oh, they did have a flyer. But I can tap their flyer. Wow. Sterling Keykeeper. It was funny because at the time I didn't say this, but when Arne mentioned Sterling Keykeeper, I was like thinking of cards to take out of that pack, and I hadn't even considered that one. And it's turning out it's like winning us this game because now we can tap their flyer, hit them for another 4. What a win. Let's go. See you folks next round. Welcome to another round. Smooth sailing so far. This time we don't have our consistent card advantage, but we're on the play. And we have a Sphinx, so I think our deck just has a lot of really good cards that help us avoid flood. And just give us action. That last game we were getting close to flooding out because we had quite a few lands there at the end, but it all worked out. Gosh, opponent has a tough surveil decision. Oh, speak of the devil. We literally have had Nimble Brigand into repulse every game, so that's pretty good. And it's even better on the play than it is on the draw. I guess I shouldn't have played the land yet. I hesitate to say it, but this game feels almost over, which is crazy. Like, that's the difference between playing this on the play and on the draw. Like, if it was on the draw, maybe not as good. I'm just going to counter this. That way I can just... I don't really care about the bouncing part of it. I'm just going to play my Sphinx. Yeah, I should have attacked first. That was bad. That was a little loosey-goosey. This is why I give... I like always be like, yeah, if we lose, it's probably my fault. This is a great deck. Okay, so they can get rid of the Sphinx. Here, even if I drew a tap land, I would still play Island. We're going to flash in Wrangler. Unless we want to repulse whatever they play. That's always an option for sure. Sure. I guess that's one spot where I'd rather have Phantom Interference than the Repulse. Though, to be fair, I have more Phantom Interferences as backups, so I was more likely to draw a second Phantom Interference than a second Repulse. Sure. I'm just getting a 2/2 every turn. I'm chilling. What a draw. What a draw! This is why you splash the Abraded Bluffs! Oh my gosh. Go in there, Nimble Brigand. Do your good work. What do they have? Path to Exile? This is going well, I would say. They're going to play a creature, crew this. I'm going to bounce it. They're going to be sad. Oh, no. Normally, that would actually be pretty good here. Not sure I fully understand that attack, but... Because now my flyers can attack them. And they didn't replay anything, so... There's a combat trick that untaps creatures. It's the only thing that makes sense here, right? Yeah. That's another thing that makes sense. I was thinking of uncommons and commons, but the Rattleworm also makes sense here. And next turn I can just cast a bunch of spells. Okay. Sure. Perfect. They're all tapped out. So I'm going to go Sphinx, Lullaby, so I can Surveil, draw 2, and then play the Strider. It's going to kill their Trampler. I don't think I want that guy, but I do kind of want the Counterspell. I don't really want either of these, to be honest, but I think having this to hold up is pretty good. So I've got an 8/8 now. That's pretty good. I'm not jumping with this guy. I might jump with this guy. Ah, the big horn. Getting an 8/8 is no joke. That was a great turn for me. It might have been correct to kill the Cactarantula while it was tapped, but I really don't want to give them an extra card here. I'd rather kill the Cactarantula. I'd rather preserve my 8/8 blocker, though. I think they have another Take Up the Shield, which is a bummer. Steer clear, never mind. Oh, this works out so well for me. Oh, they really wanted to get my 8/8 off the board, didn't they? Oh, I blocked that so well then. That worked out. Outlaw Stitcher's really good in this deck. Because I really want to like hoard my spells. I'm just going to keep making hay while the sun's shining. I'm just going to get my 2/2 every turn. Until they kind of force me not to. Because I've drawn 11 lands and they've drawn less than that. Harrier Strix might be useful at some point. I'll probably exile the Miriam here. I'm not going to risk my Wrangler to a steer clear. Sure. I think I should just play the Harrier Strix at some point here. Because I have 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm just going to flash in Phantom Interference here. Like, I don't think playing these two guys is better than just getting a free 2/2. Okay, now they've killed this. So I have to go for my play now. But I got as many 2/2s as I possibly could out of the deal first. That seems like a... Can't possibly be correct. Mm-hmm. I might have enough to kill them next turn. They attack with both. Woo! Another win for the good guys. Oh, that was so satisfying. I just got maximum 2/2s. The Wrangler. 14th pick pack 2, pretty much. Let's go. Welcome. We have to mulligan this because we need to draw specifically Island. So we'll do that. This is a good hand, though. I'm going to ditch the Phantom Interference, actually. I think we just want to get this guy down. He can potentially get us a little bit of value or buy us some time. On the play, the counterspell is a little bit worse just because on turn 3, we really just want to play Seize the Secrets. So we're not going to be able to hold it up. Environment, you say? I think Brigand is the highest upside play here. Also, potentially just scares him a little. Like if we draw a Repulse or another removal spell, we're really cooking. They have to have a combat trick of some kind here. But I'll just gain the free life point, and they'll probably use it because they don't want to be embarrassed by giving us a free life point. Yeah. Oh, beautiful day. We're going for it. Yep. No, we missed our land. Oh, we're so bad. No, I'm kidding. There's nothing we could have done there. Okay. I'm going to count on drawing a land here. Oh, this is bad. Missing land drops is the worst. Oh, well. If we draw one land, we get to go Marauding Sphinx, and then we can go Marauding Sphinx into Marauding Sphinx. So much marauding. Caustic Bronco. Sure. Well, they're playing Silver Deputy. Come on, land. I believe in land. It's coming off the top. No! This is such a sad moment. I have to keep my land, though. To not keep my land would be excessively greedy. Sure. That's actually okay for me, because they were going to probably use that to stop my Marauding Sphinx. And now they can't crew this guy. So they might take some damage. Love the Lullaby here. Next time I'm going to play Bandit, copying this. Play Lullaby, kill their Bronco. Bronco. Okay. They can protect their guy. Oh, that's what they had. Okay. I was not playing around that card, obviously. Well, that's a bummer. I was playing around the commonly played trick. This one's not as commonly played. Still played, though. I'm going to lullaby this. They can sacrifice it in response. Five, six, seven. 2 for 6. I'm just gonna get a 2/2 that I can block this with it. Force them to use this. And set this guy up. And I'll save my lullaby for when they don't have corrupted conviction up, maybe. Oh, that is just not what you want to do. I need to outline this. I don't like to criticize my opponent's plays, but that's a play that illustrates a very important point, and there's literally no reason to do that then instead of waiting till their turn. Not only because they could have activated Silver Deputy to buff something before they sacked it, but because they were using a treasure to pay for it, like... Double blocking so that they can't trash the town and trample over and draw cards. But also do want to get to trash the town out of their hand. Okay. It's time for Wrangler of the Damned to really do his thing. I'm going to hope they don't have any combat tricks in their hand. If they do, I'm probably going to lose. That is not an attack that screams combat trick to me. Here we go. This was a great draw because I can cast it on my turn. Oh, yeah, we're doing it. I mean, I can cast it on their turn. Arne was right. It's like a Sarah Angel. I'm just going to hold up the Mystical Tether to try and play around them having a saddle. From the throne for the saddle. Okay. My board only gets better every turn. Okay, that's problematic. So I'm on a 4-turn clock, because this can do 2 damage to me a turn. 4, 8. I think I win that race with my 2 flyers every turn. I have currently got 12 power in the air. Yep. And that's assuming I don't draw a removal spell or something in the meantime. Ooh, they might be able to speed up their clock. I guess we'll throw an extra blocker there. Okay. So they do 1 to me here, I go to 5. They do 2 more. Go to 3. Let's assume they have a land, so they do 3 more to me. So I take 5, then I take 3. So getting back this 1/3 will not do anything for me. But getting 2/2/2s could help. I wonder if they'll attack the Blood Hustler. I guess they don't have a good attack. That's an important draw. I just have to hope they don't have a 4-drop on top of their deck. I have 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana. So this is 5 plus 2 to play my guy that I'm going to get back. Plus 4. So having enough mana for everything. Right, they have a reach guy now. Whoops. Still potentially a reasonable attack, though much worse than I was thinking about it in my head. I think they're going to crew up the Bronco. I just have to hope they don't have something huge on top of their deck. Yes. Sea Strider, look out. Okay. Stoic Sphinx. Let's hope this is good enough. Okay, Gigapede is not good enough. And we win. Yes! Undefeated so far. Whew. I will see you folks next round. Welcome to another round. What a hand on the play! I'm so happy. So this is a classic situation where we're not going to play Harrier Strix on turn 1. And the reason for that is twofold. First of all, my deck is slow. And so I'm not going to be killing them with the aggro beatdown from it. Second of all, I can use it to trigger my Nimble Brigand. And third, if I don't use it to trigger my Nimble Brigand, I can use it to double spell with Stitcher and get a bigger guy. So far, this deck has been a dream. Huge shout out to Arne. Of course, I've gotten better and better at saying his name. That first stumble was an absolute monstrosity, and I feel incredibly sad. Okay, perfect. Okay, here we go. This. Doesn't get better than that. I think I'm going to just go Harrier Strix into Stitcher next turn. And then sure, they might commit a crime, but I'll be ahead on the card battle. And I'll have a giant creature. And a flyer. Yep. And this is so much better. This is why you make your plays with the right sequencing. And I'll hold Phantom Interference so I can just counter whatever they play this turn. Another Nimble Brigand, sure. Next turn I can go Sterling into Outlaw Stitcher. This is where they need to be very careful to sequence this probably. They should just attack me right now, almost certainly. Create a blocker. pretty happy with how that worked out. It's like I used my Phantom Interference to stop him from drawing a card or whatever. Sure. That's minorly unfortunate, losing my Shepherd, but it's fine. Especially because I almost had nothing in my hand. Sure. Wow, they don't attack with the Nimble Brigand? Why? This is Ward 2, right? Yep. Attack with that guy. Attack with my flyers and this guy. Perfect. I just want to kill their Nimble Brigand. I'm willing to trade my token that's objectively a much bigger body just so they don't get extra cards. Perfect, because I've kind of got the ground clogged up with my 1/4 here. Like, this guy can't attack into me, and I'm not attacking into him. And I've got 4 Power of the Air coming every turn, so they play this guy. I tap it for 4 mana, play my 2 guys, hit them for 4. Sure, Karavek, I do not care about that. I guess they can technically play a crime land now. I've noticed that over the course of the format, people have passed less and less crime lands. Okay, so they didn't want to play this guy. They wanted to play Karavek instead. That's bizarre to me, but okay. Remember how I told you how important sequencing is? They could have a 2/2 to flash in. So maybe I shouldn't have attacked with the Harrier Strix. What? That's how that works? I did not know that. Good to know, good to know. So I basically have them dead this turn. They cast their 3/5, I tap it down, hit them for 6. Actually 8. Yep, sure. Yes, another win. Thanks for all the victories, Arne. I'm very grateful. I think there was a point in this draft where we were very unlikely to end up in blue-white, and I'm very glad that we did. See you folks next round. Welcome. This hand is very keepable. We need one land, and then our Nimble Brigand will go off. Nimble Brigand has been so good. We had a pick where we almost didn't take it in the draft, and I'm like so glad that we did. It has made our deck. It's been the thing that's winning us our games. Okay, now I just need to draw a couple more lands, and this thing will win me the game. Whew, the first land is the most important one here, though. Gives me all the options. Ankle Biter. Nice. No! Sad day. You can't always avoid the mana screw. You can just hope to contain it. Don't want to fall too far behind while we look for our lands. So far, not good. Are they also missing lands? No. It was too good to be true. I love discarding to hand size. In fact, there's nothing I like more than discarding to hand size. It's like my favorite thing in Magic, really, if you think about it. Especially when I'm playing like a Dredge deck or Reanimator, you can like reanimate it for cheap. It's awesome. They have so much mana. They can just play around my Phantom Interference. I love Magic the Gathering. It's so satisfying. No! Oh my gosh. No. The lowest stakes possible, but it still stings. I could still win this game. I know they're not going to cast anything into my Phantom Interference because they're playing around it. Though to be fair, it would have been better if they just cast all their spells, let me use my Phantom Interference, and just got another big spell in play. If they play Cactarantula, I just lose, which is not a good indication of my chances. To be fair, this game would have gone incredibly for me. Oh, great. I love it. I love that for me. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. I have them on a 2-turn clock now. To be fair, they have me on a 3-turn clock. Maybe I should have kept the Sphinx instead of the Seas. Huh. That doesn't do anything. I can block all day. I'm probably going to lose this game, but at least I've put up a... Like, honestly, if I had done this a turn sooner, like, literally just needed to hit the land, like, 1 turn sooner to get this set up, this would have been easy. But, you know, sometimes you get mana screwed. Which is a part of the game. Because then it leads to cool games where, like, you do hit that land 1 turn sooner. You don't discard to hand size literally 1, 2 times. And you get some stuff cooking. So they're holding up Murder. That's fair. My only chance of winning this game is if they are bluffing murder / clear shot. Which they aren't, because there's no reason to. They're just going to kill a Stoic Sphinx here, and I'm going to lose. But I will at least have given it my best shot. I'm actually just dead on board if they see it, which they will. Because why wouldn't they? Because they have their Sandstorm thing, which can stop one of my blockers. Great, great, great. Yeah, shocking that you won that game, opponent. That one's really frustrating because they did not play any like particularly good cards other than that rush, which I think I would have been able to maybe counter or do something too, but I just couldn't draw lands. Welcome to another round. Unfortunately, we have to mulligan this. We don't have both our colors, and yeah, when you have to draw specifically one of your colors, it's a huge issue. Like if we had an island here, I would totally keep this. This is a keeper though. I will ditch planes. And yeah. Hopefully we draw something good here. Beautiful. I think I do have to go with the bluffs first. Because I could easily just not draw a land. And I need to be able to go 2-drop, 3-drop. This guy's scary. Ready to see a pro tip. They're going to try to cast this. And I'm going to try to counter it. And then they're going to pay 2. And it's not going to have lifelink or be a 4-5, which is much more beatable. It means I can actually eat it with my Stoic Sphinx. Though, I guess maybe they'll go for like some Rambling Possum play now. Maybe I wasn't as creative as I was hoping. Land, thank goodness. I'm going to save the Lullaby play. Yep. Definitely going to try to eat the Stable Master. Because this would be great for me. Yep, happens. If I can survive this onslaught, I'll win, I think. I need to draw a land here, though, I think, to have a shot. Ugh. Dang it. I really wanted to get that Sterling Keykeeper into play. Okay, I'm at 4. I lose to a Thrown from the Saddle now. Perfect. That's actually exactly what I hope to see. I'm glad I saved my Repulse. I think I'll chump block here. Oh, I guess I have to chump block now, but I was going to anyway. I've gotten plenty of extra cards, and I'll get that guy back with my... So I can play Shepherd, get back my Tapper. Okay. The benefit is they can't get both of their guys to 5 power. Which means they can't get a good attack with both of them because the Sphinx is huge. Also, my 2/2 is kind of useless against all of their tapping guys. That was good for me, I think. Okay. Okay, so starting off, we will attack. And then, so I'm going to go for a 2-turn cycle where I'm going to go Shepherd of the Clouds. Get back Harrier Strix. Play this. Tap that. See what I shall see here. Okay, I definitely want that. And I have 5, 6, 7, 8. So next turn, I will have 9 mana, so I'll be able to play this. 5, 6, 7, 8. So next turn, I'll be able to play this and plot this. Yep. Okay. Okay. And now next turn I'll get Wrangler of the Damned going. You know, obviously this can backfire. Okay, that's fine. How are they scrying? It's important. Ooh, one top. Yikes. So I'm going to flash in the Wrangler here. I should have attacked. There was no reason not to. I'm going to try to copy the Wrangler and start getting 2/2/2s a turn. I think that's better than getting a third Sphinx. Though maybe at 4 life with them having a 4-powered flyer, that's not correct. I just feel like this is an engine that wins me the game. I should have gotten in 3 points of damage there. That was bad. That could, like, give them an extra draw step to find something. If they have clear shot, this attack is going to lose me the game. If they had clear shot, they would have used it last turn. Like, anything that could have enabled a good attack, they probably would have used last turn, I think. Oh. They're using this as a glorified draw too. / eat my guy. Sure. I thought that worked the other way. I literally thought that it worked the other way too. Is that not a bug? Reading the card should draw them 2 cards. That's got to be a glitch, right? Oh, I don't think they were winning that anyway against my army of 2/2s that was coming, but gosh, that's funny. Oh man, now I want to look it up. I'll see if it's in the final round. Welcome to the final round. On the play, great hand. I feel great about this. Take that, opponent. Ooh, against black-red. This is typically a matchup I have done well in. Turn 3, could I draw? Ooh, Grixis Crimes, maybe a little bit tougher. I just need to make sure I hit my land drops till I can get to the Marauding Sphinx. If I lose another game to terrible mana, I'm gonna cry! No. Come on, deck. You can do it. Oh my gosh. Come on, land. Thank goodness. Okay. Jasper's really good, but luckily we took care of him. We sure showed Jasper. Raven looks really bad against Outlaw meta because you just gain incidental life. I'm not playing around the counter unless you pay 2 card, because the way the play pattern worked out, it would make sense for them to have it or not have it. And you just lose a lot of games by being too aggressive with these sorts of things. Well, this is a problem now. My Ariat's Lullabies are looking embarrassed against Jasper. That is the downside of Stop Cold. If I'm getting to the point where I have to kill my own Outlaw Mythic, things are looking grim. So I guess Shepherd of the Clouds, let's make it back. Wow, they're playing Servant instead of Jasper. Well, that's a good sign. Okay. Them not playing Jasper is insane to me. Whatever this Servant to the Stinger is trying to get, I want none of it. Also, I'm feeling good about binning these two guys, because I just need to draw some removal. Okay, well. Start aggressively. Hopefully this will find us an answer for Jasper. I think this is good enough to keep. Because it's essentially a lethal attacker. And they can get one good Jasper turn in, maybe. I wonder why they didn't just repulse on my turn if they were planning on doing that. Like, they let me untap. So they're going to go to 1? No, they're not going to go to 1. I still have 2 lethal guys, like 2 flyers that are lethal. That actually was pretty good. It lined up for them pretty nicely there. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter. Yes! Max wins! Arne, you legend! Huge! Oh my gosh. That's awesome. I am so happy. We did it right. We got justice. Oh my gosh. Fantastic run. Fantastic guest. I had a blast. I hope you learned a lot. I'm sure you did. And I hope you really do check out Arne's YouTube channel. He does mostly constructed stuff, but he's really good at it. So even though I don't play much constructed, I will still watch him play sometimes because it's like just great to watch someone who's good and playing good stuff. And he's a great guest. He's a great player. Went undefeated and drafted the Pro Tour, and now he's led me to a trophy, which is just fantastic. Even though he didn't want to play blue-white, we ended up doing it. If you did make it all the way to the end of this video, first things first, subscribe to Arne's YouTube channel, check out his Twitter, become a fan. It's awesome. He's a great person to root for. He's also just like, he loves Magic very clearly, and he's also really, he's always super excited when he's doing well, and just a great person in the community. So first do that. Then in the comment section of this video, leave hashtag, I keep trying to think of a pun that has Arne's name in it, but leave hashtag Arne time in the comment section down below to let me know you made it all the way to the end of the video because he guided us to the trophy And I want to give him some kudos in the comment section. So leave hashtag Arne time to let me know you made it all the way to the end of the video. Also, I got good at saying the name by the end. He gave me credit for it, so I'm very hyped about that as well. But that is going to do it for this one. I had a blast. I hope you had a blast, and I will talk to you next time.